What's that Call of Duty mission where you're hightailing around in that boat, blowing up bridges and shit like that?
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name.
I think that was in that.
Yeah, and it's just hoo.
Yeah.
All right.
Call of Duty boat mission.
I need to do some fancy baseball research because I haven't done any.
Folks, it's called Draft the Indians.
Not if I draft them first.
You know what it's called? Don't play fantasy baseball.
It's fun.
Fantasy baseball is incredibly good.
It's a lot of fun, Chris.
Oh, dude, I forgot how annoying this game was with the interrogation cutscenes.
Is that Black Ops 1?
Yeah.
The only thing I really played on that was zombies, I feel like.
Kravchenko. No, dude, it was annoying. What song is in this? Let's see what they think of this. Yeah, it's Sympathy for the Devil. All right, I found it up. We got it. We're good.
Hooray.
All right,
Pete,
Ryan,
you ready for
where the hell is
Chad bachelor party? You ready for this crew? Have you heard the crew yet?
What's the crew?
Where's my text with Neil? Damn, dude, I've been sending a lot of texts this week. Crew is Halva, Calvert, you, Dunker.
Oh, man.
Kerf, me, Sauser, Cal, Mark, Neil, Jabro, Kluge, and 3 others from the groom's party, which I'm guessing is that like fucking Pedro kid.
Yeah, it's definitely Pedro, Eric Plesha, and I don't know who the other kid is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna keep a pretty low profile during this.
Why is
thing.
Dunker going? Because that's like
I have no fucking idea why Dunker's going.
That's like not really something.
Well, who's his? No, he was friends with Connie.
Yeah, but still, that's like.
But I don't really. I mean, unless him and Chad like became friends through that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Molnar? I don't think Molnar was on the list. No, Molnar's not on the list.
No, he's not going.
Neil also asked if I would be cool with skydiving.
Oh, see, no. I told you.
I'm not going skydiving.
That's such a bad thing to do.
It's a bad bachelor party activity.
Like, it's fun, but not.
Is it? Have you ever gone skydiving?
I went tandem.
Okay, well, yeah, all right. But were you hungover?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bad.
Hey, do you want to see which goes down faster, your puke or you?
Yeah,
it would be like waking up Saturday morning, going out to this fucking airplane thing, probably not even that close to Denver,
sitting in a classroom for like 2 hours.
Right, getting taught what to do, and then going up in an airplane, jumping out, and probably puking.
Yeah.
I think Neil wants to go to a strip club.
Good.
That's pretty
Those are always super fun.
With 18, I guess with 18 people, you don't really have to like
be up there. Yeah.
Tip girls and buy dances and shit like that. It's more of just a bar at that point.
That's a lot of people for a bachelor. It's like a week,
One, two,
weekend
3,
thing.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 people. 15.
Where are you all staying?
Apparently, he got some big ass Airbnb.
Yeah, it's got like 4 bedrooms.
Peter, let's room together.
Okay.
With Dunker. Let's room together with Dunker.
Yeah, let's have us 3 in there. That'll be
fun. Have him sleep at the foot of the bed like a dog.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
where the hell are you, Ryan?
Dude, I go to my conference center usually to work to do all this stuff, and they like changed the passcode on me, and I have no idea what the passcode is. So I'm doing it on my phone.
You just walking around outside?
I'm walking.
Ryan, this is going to be like an hour and 15-minute episode.
Okay. Why so long?
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
So you're just gonna be walking around.
No, I'm gonna come. I'm going back to my. I got the car right now. Just go.
All right, mute.
I'll
mute
mute
his
him.
ass. Yeah. Cold open without your eye. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Rebuilding Your Podcast, Season 3, Episode 31. And like March, folks, this season only has 31 episodes. There will not be another episode to Season 3 because the Boilers, well, they lost in the Sweet 16, as I'm sure everybody is aware, to Texas Tech. I don't even know what the score was. I think we lost by like 12 points. But Chris and Pete were there. So let's, Chris and Pete, like we had in the last cold open where I asked you to tell us about the weekend. Tell us about the end of the Boiler game, because we don't really care about the whole game. We only care about the end for this episode. That's the theme of the episode, is the end. So we'll start with Peter. So what emotions were you feeling at the end of the game?
Well, it was pretty sad. Really, everyone was just kind of deflated, and it didn't help that we were sitting basically in the Texas Tech lower bowl section. So
Nice.
Getting the full cheers that whole like last 10 minutes when they were kind of pulling away.
Right.
And yeah,
Wasn't a whole big Boilermaker section.
No, it definitely. I wasn't sure on the exact numbers, like the ratio of Boiler fans to Texas Tech fans, but they were definitely louder either way by quite a bit. So it's kind of a poor showing by Boilermaker Nation. But I don't know. It just wasn't a good game. Like, it was just like all of a sudden it was just over. And it was like, what the hell just happened? That was just ugly basketball by Purdue outside of pretty much just Carson Edwards, especially in the second half. No one else really did anything. You know, Vince looked good in the first half, but didn't really help out a lot after that. They pretty much just took him out of the game. And yeah, I mean, it was just I think deflated is a good adjective for the mood, at least in our couple seats.
Deflated. Chris, what were you feeling when the clock struck midnight?
Yeah, I wasn't really. I mean, Peter summed it up right there. I wasn't like angry or upset with how like the team played or like sad. I was just like, well, this is what happens. This is what happens every year. It's no different. Like, I guess we'll wait till next year, but it was just like whatever. Like, all right, and that's what I felt like. The whole Purdue, no one was really like that upset. Everyone was just like, oh, this is what.
You must have not been on Purdue Twitter. You must have not been on Purdue Twitter.
Well, Purdue Twitter didn't go to the game then, so
yeah, Purdue
exactly.
Twitter did not go to the game, but I mean, this is like from like what everyone expects. Everyone know the Boilermakers didn't show up to the game. It was like the season ended after this once they got to the Sweet 16. That was the goal. Like, oh, we got it, so it doesn't matter what we do now.
Yeah, that's always
like,
the goal. It's just the Sweet 16. Like I said in pre-show, I thought of it too late, but maybe I'll put that for like the show image is like Matt Painter's face on George Bush's body standing in front of the mission accomplished banner on the aircraft carrier, because it did honestly seem like everybody on Twitter. I'll kind of you guys set the stage for what the game was like in person. The game on Twitter, a lot of people on Twitter were like, "Oh, I'm starting to drink now." Like this was before the game. Like, I'm getting into the drinks. Like, I got to get drunk for this. Like, I'm so nervous. I was like, I'm not really nervous because it's sort of like house money with Purdue in the Sweet 16. Like, if they win and move on, then that's great. We're in the Elite Eight, which we're also probably going to lose. But if they lose, then it's just same old, and nothing really happened. I mean, I was more nervous for the Butler game than for the Texas Tech game, just based on, you know, what it meant. Like losing in the Sweet 16 is Purdue. It's just whatever. That's what happens. So I didn't really share Purdue Twitter's nerves for this one like they did. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This episode, and we're gonna get into it here really shortly, but we're just gonna put the final nail in the Purdue 2018 season, 2017-2018. We're gonna talk a little bit about Matt Painter, folks. Should we fire him? The answer coming up shortly. It's 3 letters. I'll give you that. I'll give you a hint. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what I want you guys to start thinking about this one. What is the legacy of this team and even this group of seniors going to be? What could they have achieved if Isaac Haas was around? What are they going to look like next year? We're going to get into all that. So let's roll the music and get on with the show. This is the Rebuilding Your Podcast. Last helicopter out of Saigon. Last ship to leave. I don't know. It's the last fucking episode, so let's just get on with the show. All right, so let's jump right into it. I don't know. Where do you guys want to start? Pete, where do you want to start?
What did you just say? I kind of zoned out.
Painter, should we fire him? What's the legacy of this team? What's the legacy of the seniors?
Let's do the legacy of the class, the graduating class, the team. We can kind of
sure. So we'll do the legacy of the graduating class, which of course is Dakota Mathias, Isaac Haas, Vince Edwards, and the other one, PJ Thompson. Yeah,
the little guy.
The
tough to remember that name
guard for the last 3 years.
He's easy to
remember. Yeah. So we'll start as always with Chris. What will the legacy? And let's just talk 5 years down the line, because certainly people are still talking about the Robbie Hummel, Etuan Moore team. So let's talk 5 years down the line. The year is 2023. What's the legacy of this team? We'll start with Chris.
I got to be honest here. I don't think there is a legacy to this team. The last year it was all Biggie Swanigan. The previous 2 years when they won the Big Ten championship, that's his legacy. It's not like the seniors. I mean, they were a massive part of it, but that's not who you think of when you think.
And he was an All-American.
Yeah. So, like, when you think of these seniors, it's just this year. You don't think about like the past stuff they've done, because Biggie Swanigan kind of overshadows that. And so I don't really think they have much of a legacy at this point without a Big Ten championship or tourney championship or even an Elite Eight or Final Four. Going to the Sweet 16 really isn't anything for this team to do.
Well, once again, I think Purdue Twitter would disagree with you on that. Going to the Sweet 16 is a enormous achievement in college basketball, and certainly a team at a school with 50,000 students. Getting to the Sweet 16 is really all you can hope for, So move on. We will go to Peter.
I think the legacy, I guess, is just like getting Purdue basketball back to like a baseline level after the teams were just absolutely awful back in, what was that, 2013 and 14. Mm-hmm. And so, I guess whatever those years were, where we were like last in the Big Ten, yeah, they came in and like they definitely turned the ship around and like got us back to, being a respectable program. But I don't know. That's just, I think the biggest issue is that we did so well for that time this year. And so everyone got our hopes up so much. And it was really just like people playing above their level. Like the team was never that good. And so I think everyone was like, oh my God, this could be it. Like these guys are really good. This is like the best team Matt Painter's ever had. And it's not, I don't think.
No, it's not.
I definitely don't think it is the best team he's ever had. And it's just, it's like, yeah, like you got to respect the guys for coming into a shitty situation and, like I said, turning the program around. But it's just like, the legacy is just like not changing. I don't know, like not moving the ball forward, I guess. Like we just got back to where we were before. And like there hasn't really been any progress made over the last, 6-8 years. We're just back to, okay, we're in the Sweet 16 again, top 20 program. Like there's never been, and like you need a year where you just get it done to really take that next step, I think. And it just didn't happen again. And, so we're just kind of back where we started. And, next year we're going to take another step back. So
certainly we'll get into next year here shortly. Chris, can you take Ryan off mute?
I cannot. He can take himself off mute though.
Right.
Ryan. Hello.
You're still on mute.
Still on mute, Ryan.
There you go.
There
yeah, you're back.
Ryan's
Sorry.
in a parking lot doing this.
Yeah,
so.
I'm in my car right now.
Dedication to the craft. All right, Ryan. What is the legacy of the senior class going to be in 5 years?
Yeah, it's just a big legacy of like what ifs. Because I disagree with this. I think this is Painter's best team ever. I think that the Etuan Moore team with a healthy Hummel all year would have been the best. But towards the ACL.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Allegedly
That's the best team ever.
Well, he tore his ACL, so he never played for him. So you never know. Like towards the ACL, first day of practice, allegedly. So we'll never know. It's kind of, I think it's kind of the same legacy as that same team. A lot of what ifs. Because that team, the year they were really, really good, they were a 3 seed, and they ran into VCU, who made the Final Four in the second round. So obviously a lot of similarities. Obviously, this team is the winningest group ever, so that's definitely something. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bittersweet because obviously it's the winningest group ever. Swanigan is part of that legacy because he was here for 2 years, not wasn't part of the seniors. But when you talk about this group, you can't talk about without him. Same with Boogie too. He kind of gets intertwined with all that. And it's just used legacy of what ifs because who knows what would happen if Isaac Haas was healthy. I was on mute for the first part, but I do think we win that Texas Tech game because that's a terrible, terrible matchup without Isaac Haas. We will get into that, but I never thought we were winning that game, and I never really thought we were in that game, even if the score suggested otherwise. But I don't know. Like I said, it's a big legacy of what ifs, kind of like the Humble team. Humble tearing his ACL, then losing VCU. Same thing. We lose Haas, and that just changes everything. And, a lot of people are like, oh, we still would have had 17 turnovers, and, he wouldn't have changed this or that. Well, I don't know. That whole game plan changed with Haas in it, and every single play looks completely different. And so who knows what would happen. We could have had more or less turnovers. We could have won by 20 or lost by 20 with Haas. But I do think that would have made a huge difference. But yeah, like I said, just a legacy of what ifs. We didn't win the Big Ten or Big Ten tournament or the World University Games or the Battle for Atlantis. We got second in literally everything.
Yep.
Which is obviously difficult, but I don't know if that really defines your season. Like, Duke didn't win anything, but I don't think anybody's saying Duke's season was a failure. I think if you put yourself in that national title contention, you had a successful season, and I think we were there until Isaac Haas broke his elbow.
Yeah, Duke ran into Kansas and they played an absolute barn burner of a game. So no, their season's probably not a disaster. But I was thinking of these questions for a while before I brought them to you guys, and I think the legacy I've bounced around between. There is no legacy of this group, and certainly not in 5 years. I bounced to they were the winningest team in Purdue history this year. That certainly means something. And then I've sort of bounced to sort of an always the bridesmaid, never the bride legacy of outside of one Big Ten championship, regular season Big Ten championship last year. They haven't won anything. Did we win we might have won some preseason tournament or something, some early season tournament one of the years, but they haven't won anything. They came in second twice in the Big Ten tournament. They came in third, fourth this year in the Big Ten regular season. They lost the Battle for Atlantis. They, couldn't get. They won the Crossroads Classic twice. They beat IU a couple times, but when it comes down to it, this team this year beat bad teams. That's all it did. It never beat. Michigan now in the tournament obviously looks like 2 great wins, but regular season teams. It didn't beat Ohio State. It didn't beat Michigan State. It just didn't beat any really great teams. Louisville, which we all thought was going to be a great win, wound up in the damn NIT, and so did Marquette.
Arizona too.
Arizona turned out to be a crappy win. So it's just a legacy of, like Ryan said, kind of what if, but just. Even when they were healthy, could they have gone on a run? Yeah, maybe. But when they were totally healthy, they didn't win the Big Ten tournament. They didn't win the Big Ten regular season. So, even if they were healthy, I doubt they would have won the national championship, but they certainly might have made the Elite Eight, which would have been farther than, any Purdue team in 20 years, 30 years, something like that. Since the 80s, I think, when they went to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's a legacy of they're just, first losers, second place, third place, stuff like that. Could never really get on the podium. And even like Ryan said, the stupid college junior Olympics. They didn't win that. They lost to, who'd they lose to? Lithuania?
I think
Something like
so.
that.
Yeah,
they
the
lost,
finals.
Lithuania, one of those.
They came in
they lost
second
to
place.
Lithuania in the stupid World University games. That should have been a bad omen to start the season that we couldn't win those. I don't know. It's just it doesn't really leave a sour taste in my mouth, and I don't really feel that bad for the seniors. I don't buy into anything like that. I mean, they played good basketball for 4 years. They certainly got their money's worth, and had some good memories. And I don't think that they were ever really, I don't know if I want to say serious national title contenders, but certainly once the Michigan State and Ohio State games happened, I kind of got out of my head that we were going to win the national championship this year, because it was just the same old Purdue where we couldn't beat the good teams when it counted, and we didn't. We beat Cal State Fullerton, who was awful, and we beat Butler for a second time. And then we ran into the first athletic team we played, Texas Tech, and we got bounced. And like Ryan said, the game was never really that close, even if the score indicated otherwise. It seemed like Texas Tech was always going to have an answer for whatever we had. So I don't know. It was just a fitting end to a season of seconds and thirds and stuff like that, I think. I mean, I don't know if anybody has any further thoughts on the legacy of this team. But Ryan did bring up Carson Edwards, and I want to ask you guys real quick. If you were Carson Edwards, are you going to the NBA? Yes or no, and why, Peter?
I mean, I don't know if he would get drafted right now. I mean, it's tough to say. He's not a big guy. And so, I mean, I honestly have no idea if anyone even has him in that conversation. I mean, I guess for him personally, next year it's going to be his team. He is he was kind of the guy this year anyway, but he's going to be 10 times more than that next year. So I mean, I don't know. I hope he stays, because, it'd be nice to have him around for another 2 years. But I mean, if he's going to get drafted, you can't blame the kid for going. If someone says we're going to take a flyer on you in the second round, what's keeping him here to come back to a team that's going
to lose 10 games next
year. Not the same as the one he was just on in any way.
Right. Chris.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Pete said. If he gets the notion of a shot, I think he might try to take it, but I wouldn't, just because he doesn't have that. I mean, he's 6 foot. He's not a big guard. He's not good at defense, or he's not great at defense. So I don't think he's going to get that big of a chance. He's a great shooter and everything. So he's definitely going to get a look at some point if he stays 4 years. He might get drafted by a team, go play some G League basketball, and maybe might get a shot at making a team sometime. But when it's his team, I think that's really when he has the chance to show that he's going to be a good basketball player. When he's running it, when he's running the offense, when everything's going through him, that's gonna show the NBA that he's got some high level talent. Even though we already know that, it might not be that everyone knows that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think he's going to leave, but I mean, next year, and we'll get into next year's team a little bit later, but next year, I mean, he's going to be like Trae Young. I mean, this dude's going to take, I don't know, 20, 30 shots a game, something like that. He's going to have a chance to score a lot of points, but pretty much every loss we have is going to probably fall on him. But just the same that every win we have is going to fall on him too, because he's going to be far and away the best player on this team. I mean, he was starting with 4 other seniors this year. So, he's going to be playing alongside Matt Harms, Ryan Klein, Eric Hunter,
and Nogel.
So he's really going to be the guy. And I think, if you have aspirations of being in the NBA, you certainly probably want to get a season or two of being the guy under your belt to show really what you can do. Right.
Yeah, like you all kind of hit the head on the nail, his hammer on the nail, whatever.
Hit the head on the nail, absolutely. Love
hammer on the nail.
Hitting my head on nails.
It's great, hammer.
Hit the nail on the head is what you're saying, Ryan.
Yeah, I fucked that one up. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I always get a little nervous when these players go to the thing, because there's always a handful of them that is go. That is, they're ready to go make some money. Because even if you go to the G League or Europe, you're making a lot more money than you do in college, unless you're one of these one and done players who's still getting paid apparently. So yeah, I mean, if he goes, and he blows away in draft workouts, which honestly I think he's a great player, and I think he can go to these draft workouts and really show his skill set and show how good of a player he is. And if he does that, he's going to shoot up those draft boards. And if you start flirting with first round pick, there's no reason to stay. Like he can never be if he gets hey, we'll take you at number 30. I don't think he can ever do much better than that. So I don't know why you would stay. Obviously, I hope he does stay.
But do you think he's going to get picked numher 30? Do you think he's going to improve that much or show that much in these workouts that he's going to get picked number 30?
I really don't know. I mean, Donovan Mitchell wasn't supposed to go to the league last year, and he ends up going to the league, and he might be rookie of the year, and I think he was an all-star this year, close. Like, crazy shit like that happens all the time. Do I think that? No, probably not. But it's definitely on the table. I mean, I watch him every game, and almost every single game, that kid's the best player on the court. I know he's short, but, who knows? I mean, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, we will find out. And like we all said, I mean, if he can get a shot, you obviously have to take it. Like, I don't think that anybody has, any allegiance to Purdue that's that intense that you would turn down, a for sure job in the NBA, at least for, a season of regular season ball or half a season of first team ball. Or even like Caleb Swanigan. What do you get? He got like a month of first team ball with the Trailblazers.
Yeah, he's been back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that you have to you just gotta if he has a chance, he has to take it. But moving on from Carson Edwards, let's go on to the duck hunt of the episode. Matt Painter, Coach Matt Painter, CMP. Your thoughts? Is it time to move on from Coach Matt Painter? We'll start with the ainter of the crew, Chris.
If there were any time to get rid of Matt Painter, it would be now. The team future doesn't look great. With Carson Edwards being our only good player at the moment. I mean, you could say that Nojel can improve, but even like if he's going to be like Carson's level, Carson was way better his freshman year than Nojel was. So I don't think that's what's going to happen. So if there's a time to get rid of him, it's now. But I don't think that there's a coach out there at this point that we could get that would be better than what Matt Painter can offer us. I just think it's a product of where Purdue is, what kind of school they are. We're not attracting top talent. And that's always going to be your crutch when trying to get to the Elite Eight. I know there's some excellent recruiters out there, but I don't think Purdue has a shot at grabbing one this year. So I'd wait, keep your ear to the floor. If you see any good coaches that you want to grab, that you can eventually.
How about the Loyola coach?
He sucks.
I think that's a fluke.
Hot take.
I have a thing. They're the Monstars. Loyola is the Monstars. They stole their talent from the rest of their region. And
I mean, somebody's gonna pay that dude.
I don't know. I got bored the other night and looked up how he's been doing at Loyola. He honestly has not done a great job there and just got hot this year. But typically he's 15-15 for 15 years there. It's not like he's been there for 4 or 5 years. They get better every year. Now they peaked. He's going to leave. Kind of like that UMBC coach who's probably gone in a little bit. I mean, he's been there for a while and they've never really been this good or anywhere near this good. So, I mean, yeah, he might get a shot, but it's going to be a bad hire.
I say we should give him a shot. Peter.
Like Chris said, what are you gonna do? What good coach is even out there and is gonna want to come to this situation that you got? I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone is happy with Matt. If you're happy with Matt Painter's coaching job over the last 15 years, come on. Yeah, he's a good coach. He is a good coach. He's a good college coach. He's got us in the top 25, 80% of the time. But he's not ever going to get you to that next level, just because of how he coaches, how he plays, how his teams play. I mean, where Purdue is, he's not that kind of dynamic recruiter. It's what we've said for years. It's just, we're going to probably be at this level until he gets lucky. And until that happens, there's not really going to be any time that we're going to go beyond that. Like he's a Sweet 16 type coach, like that's what it is.
That's his ceiling, is the Sweet 16. Matt Painter as a coach, he's a bully. We beat bad teams. What was the last good team that we beat? The really good team that we beat was probably Iowa State last year. Like, if you think about it, I mean, Arizona maybe.
Yeah.
But Arizona at the time was really struggling. The last peak performance good team that would be was either Iowa State or Michigan State last year. But we don't beat good teams. We look at when the bracket gets released, we're probably not going to beat Villanova. We're probably not going to be able to beat just those names. We just can't beat the names, no matter what. And to say Purdue's location is a problem, I don't buy that at all. I mean, Lawrence, Kansas. Ryan, you've been to Lawrence, Kansas. What's going on in Lawrence?
Yeah, the location thing's bullshit because all these colleges, I use in Bloomington, which is just like the same as Lafayette. It's an hour and 15 minutes from Indianapolis. It's got no. I mean, all these colleges are in these shitty little college towns. That's what colleges are. So the location thing's absolute bullshit.
Like Syracuse, a frozen wasteland of upstate New York.
That's true.
Gonzaga. I mean, for Christ's sake, Gonzaga's in the middle of nowhere. Unless you're Arizona State, Arizona, Miami, some school in Texas and Dallas, maybe USC, UCLA, you're really not. Your location's not really that much of a benefit, but the location can be a benefit because we're in Indiana. There's some great basketball talent that comes out of Indiana, and we're right next door to Chicago. A coach has to drive 2 hours from West Lafayette to get on the John Ryan. It's not that far away to be recruiting in Chicago. But Matt Painter has never been. I mean, Caleb Swanigan we got at the last minute. And that was a fluke, I think. I personally believe that was a fluke. But, top talent, like Romeo Langford, we're not even in the conversation for. The kid from McCutcheon. How do we miss out on a kid from McCutcheon? That's literally in Purdue's backyard. Isn't that where that one point guard goes?
Yeah.
Finney.
Yeah, Robert Finney from McCutcheon High School, right down the road from Purdue. How do we miss out on all these guys? Tiger Davis or Tiger, what was his name?
Campbell.
Tiger Campbell. Every year, we thought we had a shot at what's his face from Michigan State, Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
Every year, some big name gets floated that, Purdue's in the top 3, and it's like Ryan last week when he said, "I'm never going to pick Purdue to go to the Elite Eight until they do it." I'm never going to pick a 5-star talent to go to Purdue from open recruitment until they do it. Who knows what was going on with Caleb Swanigan? I don't know if we broke any rules. I doubt that we did. I think it had more to do with Roosevelt Colvin than anything. But until a 5-star picks to come here, I'm never going to believe that it's going to happen. And you don't win championships without 5-star talent. It just doesn't happen. This Loyola run, it's great. It's fun, whatever. They're not going to win the national championship. They're going to get bounced by Michigan. And then you have Michigan, Villanova, or Kansas, all teams, correct me if I'm wrong, with 5-star talent. I mean, every year, the national champion has 5-star talent, and we just can't get on that level, and therefore Sweet 16, Elite 8, second weekend is probably the highest ceiling Matt Painter's ever going to achieve until he gets, top tier talent. And I don't know if there was somebody out there, I would say fire him, but everybody's right. I mean, there's nobody really out there. But this next year, maybe next 2 years aren't going to be great, and we'll see how much patience even the staunchest Painter supporters have with Painter, because like it or not, he built the team. I mean, you knew you were going to lose 4 guys in 2018. You got to fill those spots up, and we filled one of them with Carson, and Harms, but you still got to fill the other spots up. Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because, obviously it's super annoying every single year to get bounced to the Sweet 16 because we do have a lot of regular season success. He does have a couple Big Ten titles to his name. He is the second longest tenure coach in the Big Ten. What else? I think he finishes top 4 in that Big Ten almost every year, which definitely, is pretty good. It is just a tournament success. Some of it unlucky, some of it.
That's what matters.
let me finish talking, damn it. But I don't know, because like you see like what Pitt did, which is the exact same thing. You know, they had Jamie Dixon, and every single year they were kind of like Purdue. They get to the tournament and they always got bounced, so they fire them. And now look at Pitt. They are one of the worst teams in Division I basketball, which that's something that can easily happen to us. And I know, I mean, it is super annoying to lose the Sweet 16 almost every single year. But like, you can't there's very few programs that do better than that. I mean, obviously you have the big blue bloods, which we're never a blue blood. We're never going to beat Villanova, Kansas, Duke. We're never going to beat Villanova, Kansas, Duke on a consistent basis. It's just annoying that every single year we can never just catch a break almost. Like if Loyola catches a break, I don't know. And like you guys said, I mean, we can't do better than Painter. Like if we fire Matt Painter, nothing's coming our way. I mean, maybe Quanzo Martin.
But even then, he's a dog shit coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's not dog shit, but he's a great recruiter. So it'd be kind of fun to get some of these 5-star names in. Like, it'd be really fun to, like, I guess Michael Porter got hurt. But I mean, it would be fun to have some 5 stars and watch him and have some hope up. But his coaching is always, you know, they get 20, 22 wins. They make the tournament, lose in a game or two. Which I guess is the same we do now, so whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're Purdue basketball. Obviously, I want to do better, but that's not who Purdue is or who Purdue's ever been. Like, look at Gene Cady. I mean, everybody says Purdue fans love Gene Cady.
A legend.
He's been to, like, one Final Four. Like, Matt Painter.
He didn't go to any Final Fours.
No, I think he went to 1 or 2.
He went to like 1 or 2 Elite Eights. He never went to a Final Four.
That's like Purdue fans love Gene Cady, and same ones want to like hate Matt Painter. But Matt Painter in the first 15 years, both their careers, Matt Painter is way ahead of them. So I don't know. I mean, you can't do better than Matt Painter. He is a good coach. He does need to work on his tournament success. We do need to get bigger, stronger athletes. Because I was reading an article about the Texas Tech game, and it was like, oh, their length and athleticism got to Purdue. And I'm like, oh, hear that every fucking year. Big guards.
Right. I mean, the game has changed, and if we don't change with it, then we're just, I don't know. We're just never going to win.
He better watch out, because I do think we'll suck next year. And maybe Boogie leaves after his junior year. I think we'd be pretty bad for these next 2 years. And, 2 years of bad basketball Purdue, you got on the hot seat pretty fast. Because he was on it, our senior year? He was on the hot seat, and we went on kind of a run with him.
Junior, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think we could be looking, let's just transition into next year. I think we could be looking at sort of a 2012, 2013 stretch ahead of us of maybe not the cellar in the Big Ten, but, I don't know. I just don't see us being very good next year, the year after. I don't know. Quick thoughts, Ryan.
Yeah, let's go again. I'm hoping Painter uses that new grad transfer rule a lot. That wasn't as big back then, and it's come to our success a little bit with Octius and a couple other players. So I definitely think he needs to use that, because we have some holes to fill. I mean, I do like a lot of our young talent. I do think in 2-3 years we will be very good again. But that's 2-3 years from now. I want to be good next year and the year after. And right now there's not much there. Like, Nojel's going to run the point, which he looked this year. And
he's got a lot of room to improve.
That's a breaks his leg in practice, which or tears his ACL or gets kicked off or who knows what. But like that shit happens all the time, and then we're fucked. Or that happens to Carson. So he does need to use that grad transfer rule. There are a lot of targets out there. I do think he'll get 1 or 2 kids. He uses it all the time, so I do think we'll get some looks. And it's obviously an intriguing, place to come. Come to a program that's just a 2 seed and it's just one of the best teams in the country until somebody got hurt. So I do think you can attract some grad transfer talent in there. But I do think we'll be bad next year. I see a lot of tweets about optimism, and I don't share that because a big thing you want to look at is percent of scoring returning, and besides Carson, we lose it all. So
literally all of it.
I mean, it's kind of like that year where DJ Bird was one of our better players, and everybody left, and we sucked. And DJ Bird won us 1 or 2 games from hot 3-point shooting.
We beat Clemson.
And the rest of the year, he kind of sucked because every team just doubled them, and they just watched them. Because this year you couldn't really do that. You watch Carson, you go to Vince or Dakota or Haas, and next year you just double Carson, and I don't know where the fuck you're going to go with it. Haas might get hot one game. Maybe Klein hits 4 threes one game. But other than that, there's not a lot to go to. So I'm really hoping.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Klein, a known creator of his own shot.
Yeah. I don't know. He's got to get some grad transfers in. There's some that Xavier kid just decommitted. I know he visited Purdue a couple times. He'd be like a stretch 4, but who knows? He's got a lot of shoes to fill.
He's got a lot of shoes to fill, and I saw some guy, it was the best. He was talking about optimism, and he mentioned Sasha Stefanovic as a reason to be optimistic for next year's season.
Saw that.
No.
He's more athletic than he looks, Steve, according to
Yes, that was the tweet. He's more athletic than he looks. I was like, no, he isn't. No, he's not. That kid sucks.
That's like saying
Chris.
you're more athletic than you look. Like,
well, I am. I got quick twitch muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you going for that rec league ball? You get the title.
Yeah. Chris.
That's what this team is kind of going to be. It's just a middle of the road basketball team, and it's not going to be anything to sniff at. And you're going to watch the games, and you're going to be like, if they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. That's just, you're going to be indifferent to the next 2 seasons, I think. And with being Carson Edwards' team, if they suck next year, I think he's gone no matter what. Like if they had a shot at being good and like a shot at like maybe getting to a Final Four or something like that, and he was a 2nd-round pick, he might stay. But if they suck and he's got a shot, he's gone.
If we suck, his draft stock's going to just tank because he's going to suck too, probably.
No, but I'm thinking like we like miss out on the tournament, like something like that. Not like suck as in like we get like 10 wins.
Oh, I think that's actually a very real possibility.
10 wins?
I think.
what?
I think we'll be in the cellar. I think we'll be in the cellar of the Big Ten. I don't
think we're that bad. I think our young talent is better than you think.
There's some really bad teams in the Big Ten.
Okay, so here I'll say
Iowa and Illinois play in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'll say this: like if stuff goes wrong, like somebody like Ryan said, like Carson or Nogel's like out for like 2 months, or God forbid it's one of those situations like 2 or 3 years ago,
somebody fractures an elbow.
Yeah, or that, or like the people start leaving, like we lose a bunch of the freshmen that they decommit or transfer or whatever. Then yeah, we could be down there, but I think if the team is like, if things kind of stay the course, like we were saying before the show, I think we'll be like, an 8 or 9 seed or something like that. Maybe do we get hot at the end of the year and get bounced up a few spots, but I don't think, I think we'll be fine as long as nothing goes disastrously wrong. But
this team is starting Grady Eifert probably. Like we're gonna be.
Hell yeah, we are. Gonna get all the hustle plays, baby.
People are excited.
All the loose balls.
Yeah, all the loose balls.
I feel like Purdue Twitter would be happy if we started Tommy Luce next year.
Oh, they'd be. How many years does Tommy Luce have left?
2.
I think he's like he was a sophomore this year.
Yeah, he's 2 years left.
Nice. Can't wait for him to get some quality minutes next year. No, I don't think we're going to be very good next year. I don't know if we're going to be in the cellar of the Big Ten. We might make the tournament. I think that's a realistic goal. When we talk about goals at the start of next season, I think making the tournament's a good goal to set. But maybe that'll be good for us, getting a low seed and, going on a little run-a-rooney like Loyola did or, Kansas State, something like that. I think that could be good for the Boilers.
Well, no, because that would make us beating a 1 seed, which God knows that's not going to happen. So I'm going to stop that right now.
What do you mean? We could beat a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Of course we could.
You never know.
If it's Virginia, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a 16 seed.
And then we wouldn't even get to set history.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We wouldn't even get to be the first
taking
a 1 seed.
Too.
Watch this start happening like every year. A 16 seed now beats a 1 seed.
Oh, if it's
floodgates
Virginia,
have
yeah,
opened.
it will happen every year. Virginia was bad. They were a bad team. I don't know. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Any last anything you want to say as you throw the flower on the coffin here? Anybody?
Would you? I was thinking about this because I think this is something Purdue Twitter has different opinions on. Would you give like 10 seasons of being like bad at basketball for a national championship? Because I know your answers because it'd probably be yes, but Purdue Twitter would.
How bad are we bad at basketball now?
We're not bad at basketball now. I'm
bad?
thinking like missing the tournament and stuff like that. Bad
For 10 straight years
for a national championship.
Well, Well, yeah, I would, because if we were bad for 10 years, I would just check out.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be as invested as I am now. Like, and then, you put on the Purdue polo, for the tournament, and they make a run. Yeah, I would take that, obviously, but I just like that if we were bad for 10 years, we wouldn't be doing this.
Oh, absolutely not.
This would get thrown by the wayside. This has actually been good, because we, like that guy said to us at the Crossroads Classic, we're not really rebuilding anything anymore. We have a decent football team. We have a good basketball team.
Well, we're building basketball again, so.
Well, now we are truly.
The thing is, though, it's not even, like we said, it's not like rebuilding.
Yeah, it's not like the coach got fired and
that's
like,
the thing, compared to a lot
Ohio
of
State
teams.
went through a rebuild where the coach left and they kicked everybody out.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. I don't know, man. I think I would take it, though, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
I don't know. I'm torn, because that is.
I would
that's
take a national
point.
championship in exchange for like 10 years of just being like average.
But we're
Yeah,
already
God,
like
yes.
average.
No, I mean,
No,
like, we're
better than average.
Actually average.
Like, we
Like-
bitch and moan all we
Okay,
want, but
like-
like,
So
we
like
do get like
a
4 and 5 seeds.
like a bad seed, like a 9-10 seed every year.
Like, I mean, like Maryland. I'm saying I would take a national championship in exchange for like 10 years of being like Maryland. Like, they make the tournament
fuck yeah.
sometimes.
I would take that too. Maryland's a good team.
But I'm saying the last couple of years they haven't made the tournament though.
They made like
who
last
knows
year. They
when-
had like 5 seed
They
last
made it
year.
last
They
year.
sucked this year because they had a bunch of injuries.
No, but I think 3 years ago they didn't make it. Like, they've been all over the place.
Dude, they've been hot. Besides this year, they've been hot the last 3-4 years.
They had
Melo
Diamond
Trimble.
Stone. They were great.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
not
I
Maryland.
would take that.
Give me,
But,
I don't know, whatever.
I know what you mean. I don't know. I mean, if there's no tournament at all, maybe not. But I don't know. I mean, look at all these teams that win. Look, crap. What's a good example? Who just won a recent tournament?
I don't know.
Villanova.
No, North Carolina.
Villanova
Villanova
that's
was
Gonzaga.
great.
or not Gonzaga. If Gonzaga had won,
North Carolina.
Yeah, they're always good. Yeah, these are all terrible examples. I'd probably take it.
Villanova's not always good.
Villanova's won 2 tournaments ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
I mean,
Not
the
a lot.
difference is that they're 1 and 2
not-
seeds almost every year.
Okay, well, I read an article. I know the last 4 years they're the winningest program of all time in a 4-year span. So maybe I'm thinking of recent success.
Okay. Well then, I don't know, dude. I don't know. We're dragging here. Anybody else have any further last words for Purdue basketball before we shovel the dirt on this one?
Should we
Any
break
more-
down the Northwest? Break down
Is
the
there any
Northwestern
more?
game in a couple months.
Oh, actually, I wanna tell you guys I'm cooking up a little something for our pregame, for our pre-football shows. We normally do like 3 shows before the season where we just kind of go through the schedule, and it's relatively boring. But I think we're gonna do a little role-playing game for you
Oh.
three as the coaches of Purdue football
I like it.
that I'm currently writing. So we'll see if I stick with that idea until August. But you have a couple months to chew on the fat of that. So we don't really have anything else. So that was the Rebuilding Your Podcast, Season 3, Episode 31, the final episode, last helicopter out. We'll see you guys in August for our football previews. I'm personally really looking forward to getting off of Purdue Twitter for a little bit. So, but you can find us on Twitter at the Rebuilding YR. You can find Peter on Twitter at Peter_Mick. You can find Ryan on Twitter at RyeGuysAndFries. You can find Chris on Twitter at Boston Boiler. You can find me on Twitter at SteveGreco01. Without anything else, Boilers by 90, and certainly wait till next year.
Woo.